I'm finally doing the deck profile video.
Yay!
Thank you for the cheer, Richard. Can you guys, before I start, can you guys please attest to how annoying this deck can be to face?
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Either that or anal.
Unless Richard's using it.
Ah.
I had an unlucky draw.
Mm.
I have unlucky draws every fucking day.
Alright, I will say right now, like, I was planning to get into this after I went through the cards, but Richard saying that is not just Richard making excuses. You can get quite shit draws when you're playing this deck sometimes. Mainly because, well, you'll probably figure it out in a minute. Anyway, this deck is centered around Berserk Dragon, so, of course, I'm gonna run 3 of the fucker.
That BD though.
I know, right? The thing with Berserk Dragon is it can only be summoned by Deal with the Dark Ruler, and Deal with the Dark Ruler can only be activated if a level 8 or higher monster was sent to your graveyard that you control was sent to your graveyard this turn. So this deck is flooded with level 8 monsters. For example, Archfiend Emperor. Archfiend Emperor is a really nice one because you can summon him without tributes and he destroys himself at the end phase. It's also really nice because if you remove a Archfiend card from your graveyard, you can destroy a card on the field. Anyway, another monster that I use in the deck is a similar one, Beast King Barbaros. He doesn't destroy himself at the end phase, but he doesn't lose as much attack. He goes down to 1900 as opposed to Archfiend Emperor, who goes down to 1500. Next up is 2 Majestic Mech Goryu. Majestic Mech Goryu cannot summon itself, unlike the previous 2 cards. Summon without tributes like the previous 2 cards, but you can summon it with 1 tribute, and if that tribute is a level 8 monster, you get Goryu, and you get Berserk Dragon if you have Deal with the Dark Ruler, and that would then mean that you can, yeah, I mean, Goryu pierces defense, so if they got a defense monster, you attack that, they'll take damage, and then you attack Berserk Dragon. It's a fun day for everyone involved. Right, guys? For everyone involved.
Yeah, sure.
Next up, 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You're probably not going to get this card out normally very much, but there are ways to get it out, and it does have use in the deck that I will go... I think that was someone coming in.
Yeah, you gave me
Yeah. Sorry guys, we're waiting on pizza.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're probably not going to get this deck out, card out normally, but I'll go over certain things about it later. Now, with the deck full of very similar, same level monsters, of course I'm going to run XYZs, or XYZs, and to help with that is Gargaga Magician. Gargaga Magician can change his level from anywhere between 1 to 8, and, you know, the cut-off point's 8, so that's really lucky. Unfortunately, you can't use him with Deal with the Dark Ruler because he has to be level 8 while in the graveyard, so, yeah. And then I have Archfiend Eris, which is when it is sent to the graveyard because of a card effect or being destroyed by battle. You can add an Archfiend card from your deck to your hand, except for Archfiend Eris, which helps you to get out Deal with the Dark Ruler because now an Archfiend card, and Archfiend Emperor. And finally, to round off the monsters, we have Blackluster Soldier, Envoy at the beginning. You saw that I run mostly dark and light, so it felt kind of like a no-brainer, especially since I count on monsters being destroyed and sent to the graveyard. That's it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. You could probably see this one coming already, but 3 Deal with the Dark Ruler, obviously to get Berserk Dragon out. 2 Advanced Draw. Advanced Draw, tribute a level 8 monster you control and draw 2 cards. So, tribute a level 8 monster, activate Deal with the Dark Ruler to get out Berserk Dragon, then get 2 cards. Possibly another Deal with the Dark Ruler. That combination's always fun.
I hate your deck.
I know you do. 2 Dark Hole, because, I mean, what's more fun than just destroying your own monsters and getting advantage?
Your enemies just stream down their face in the form of tears.
Yeah, Dark Hole the Field, possibly get Search from Eris off of it, possibly get Berserk Dragon out of it. Nice little thing to do is have Eris set on the field, summon either Archon Emperor or Barbaros, then Dark Hole the Field, search for a deal with the Dark Ruler. Anyway, next up, 2XYZ Reception. Normally I only ever use it with Gaga Magician, but, well, I mean, I use it for other things too. But, yeah, that is obviously going to help with XYZs. 2 Magical Mallet, because when you're running a deck with this many monsters that you can't play right off the bat, it's probably a good idea to have something that you can use to exchange those monsters. And finally, 1 Soul Charge, because, well, I'm a dick. Now moving on to the traps. It's a trap! 2 Call of the Haunted, because, again, sometimes, well, because I rely on monsters being destroyed, it's a nice thing to be able to get them back sometimes. 2 Mirror Force for the situations where I need to protect myself, or I can't get a monster onto the field, or, maybe the only thing I've got on the field is Eris, and they can attack twice, so I get the Search of Eris and Mirror Force. Breakthrough Skill. I might have used Effect Veiler, because it's a hand trap, it doubles as a tuner, and obviously it'll be fodder for what's-his-face, BLS. But the reason I went with Breakthrough Skill is because it just kind of has more use to me. You have to set it, of course, but then once you've set it, you can use it on your turn, your opponent's turn, it doesn't matter, and then once you've used it, it goes to the graveyard, it becomes an Effect Veiler essentially anyway, because you can bash it from the graveyard, and yeah. Well, the only exception is you can use it on your turn, not your opponent's. Whatever. And 2 Trap Stun.
Boo! I hate that card so much, it's
I know.
fucked me up so much.
With that much power, you're bound to get, you're bound to get like Mirror Force or Magic Cylinder or whatever, and Trap Stun helps in a very hilarious manner. I can just see the anger on Richard's face. I feel like he's going to rip my cards.
No, I'm just going to rip me that card.
Oh dear. Well, now moving on to the extra deck.
As long as BD's alright.
Now moving on to the...
It won't be if you rip it off.
God.
That's waiting for one of you to make
For the 3rd or 4th time, moving on to the extra deck. I only run 1 of each at the moment, and that's because they're kind of expensive. With the exception of one of these cards, they're kind of expensive, so I can only really afford to run 1, although on YGO Pro I run 2 of each, but I do find that I never really need 2 of each in a duel. So first off, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. At the start of the battle phase, you can detach a material to negate all other effect monster effects. That's really nice, because when Berserk Dragon has its effect negated, it goes right back up to 3500. The second part of its effect is if an opponent's card effect activates, it gains 1000 attack and can make a second attack that turn. Next up is Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Thanks to Richard for helping me get this card.
Yeah,
because
that's turned into your card mule.
yeah, because this was the only card. Oh shit! Oh, this was the only card that I couldn't actually buy at the place where I would normally buy my cards.
His special dealer.
But that particular shop happened to run out of these right when I went to buy it. So I asked Richard, and Richard kindly agreed to order it for me despite the fact that he despises my deck. Anyway.
'Cause that's what friends do.
'Cause that's what friends do. Anyway, it's a nice hell of a lot of power. In an ideal situation, I mean, that's what Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is essentially there for, apart from helping the other XYZs, but chances are, if I have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, I'm going for Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, because it's a nice amount of power. Next up, the card that probably sets off the most combos in the deck. Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. This card, all these are 2 level 8 monsters, by the way, with the exception of 1, but I'll get onto that. This card, detach 1 XYZ material, tribute any number of monsters from your hand and or your field, and then destroy an equal number of cards on the field, which means I can tribute off Eris from my hand, I can tribute off a level 8 monster from the field, I can instantly get, my deal with the Dark Ruler out. Then destroy cards on my opponent's field, and then it's still got 3000 attack, so it's a very nice card. Divine Dragonite Felgrand is there for protection, and again, negating certain effects in the deck will raise attack, namely, obviously Berserk Dragon, like I mentioned before, Archery and Emperor goes up to 3000, and so does Barbaros. So, plus, like I said, protection, so you can protect from card effects. I personally don't know why, but when I first heard of the card, I didn't like it, and then I played it, and it's insanely helpful, and, well, I'm running all level 8, pretty much all level 8s in the deck, so why not? And the last one is a card that only recently came out in the TCG, which is Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Oh shit. Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, which again I have to thank Richard for, because he pulled it out of a premium gold 2 and then traded it to me very graciously.
First premium gold 2 I got.
Yeah. Anyway, this card is nice because, well, if, let's say, for example, you have Galaxy Eyes Photon Prime Dragon or Tachyon Dragon, you've used their effects, you can use those to get out this card, and that's just straight 4000, you can detach a material and attack twice, which is really fun. And also the part about these XYZs is, because all of them, with the exception of Dark Matter Dragon, are light, if they get sent to the graveyard, then they're fodder for BLS. This one in particular, because the other 2 that the only 2 monsters I can use to summon it are light monsters, so by detaching them to use it for its effect, I've instantly put something in the graveyard I can use to banish out to get BLS. It's very nice. Tis very nice. Now, I didn't explain too much of what the deck can do, mainly because I built the deck on YGO Pro. I'm just going to hold this here for something to look at. I built the deck on YGO Pro, and I, with the help of Andrew, Richard, and 1 or 2 random people online, I put together a total of, I think, 12 or 13 duels that I'm going to put into a video, upload, and then you guys can see for yourself what this deck can do. The video is going to go up as an unlisted video, so I'll put a link probably around about here, or at the very end of the video leading to that video. I'll also put a link in the description. That's about it. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.